Hey guys, welcome to DG Gaming Tips, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the excellent DiRT and revisiting the age-old question, which is best, the controller or the steering wheel?
Alright.
So we're going to be comparing the standard PS4 DualShock wireless controller up against an old Logitech G25 steering wheel. Technically this G25 is not compatible with the PS4 because it lacks the security chip to authenticate to the console. But if you buy one of these separate CronusMAX PLUS dongles, it can help translate and authenticate to the PS4.
I think he's happy. Oh boy, he is loving it down there.
I'm not going to bore you with all the details of how to set all that up at the beginning of the video. We're just going to jump straight into the driving action. But if you want to see how it's all unboxed and set up, then jump to the end of the video and I do a step-by-step guide. I mean, that's one of the best game developer intros like ever. So what we're going to do is choose a medium difficulty course in Wales, and as contentious as this probably is, I'm going to leave it in automatic gear mode, partly just to make it a little bit more like for like, and also because my flappy paddle gears on the steering wheel are a bit shagged from extended PS3 usage. I guess I'd consider myself to be a medium skill level gamer, so I've just taken the time needed to put a fairly clean fast lap on each technique, and then we're going to compare them side to side.
You shouldn't have too much trouble, just pay attention to the bass notes.
Okay, here we go, let's commentate these videos side by side. We've got the controller video on the left, obviously, and the steering wheel and pedals on the right. Did most of my practice on the controller initially just to learn the course and put a fast time in. Yeah, controller's okay. I mean, once you get used to it, it's nice and light and you can do very responsive fast left rights to get out of trouble and correct oversteer. By comparison, moving over to the steering wheel felt a little bit kind of heavy and sluggish initially. So I actually toned down the force feedback settings a little bit just to remove some of the strangeness of that, and if you want to see what my settings are, I've put them at the end of the video. This section was interesting, going uphill. You see that channel on the right hand of the road there, and the sort of switching camber left and right. The steering wheel made it very easy to know where you were on the road because of that, and the force feedback was naturally wanting to bring you back into the right place. But yeah, apart from that, pretty much like for like, you know, going at full speed. I had to switch over there on the steering wheel to use the handbrake on the console. Still haven't found a way to map the handbrake onto the buttons on the steering wheel. Not sure whether that's a CronusMAX limitation. If anybody knows how to fix that, I appreciate a comment below. Again, going uphill that section, there's a gutter in the left hand of the road there, and the steering wheel just kind of snuck into it and made it easy to feel where you were. Yeah, handbrake turns are not great on the steering wheel because of that, having to move across to a bit of a strange feeling button. Went a bit off-road there on the controller. Find it a little bit kind of dicey when you're off-road with the controller. It's easy to spin the back end out if you put too much acceleration on, and you can't quite catch it in the right kind of way, whereas steering wheel is easy to catch the back end coming out.
Left 5, right 3, don't cut, into 2, square right, and right 4. Left 5, right 5, left 2, crest, right 4 long.
So this section was interesting. It's kind of like a high-speed downhill sort of switching camber road, and I just felt so much more confident on the steering wheel apart from that screw up. But on the controller, I guess I was starting to get a bit mentally tired by now. It's more to think about on the controller. You don't have that option just to sort of hold the steering wheel in one place and just let it go around a corner, you've got to be constantly correcting it. And yeah, I think the steering wheel starts to inch away now. I think I'm that bit through the course where I'm thinking, don't want to screw up on the controller and just being a little bit more careful. And again, on this kind of loose gravel, again the steering wheel just felt that bit much easier to keep control and correct any back end going out that was happening.
Left 6. Keep middle over crest. 80 through dip. Keep middle over jump. 60. Keep right over crest. Into left 3. Don't cut. Into right 4. Into left 6. 100. Crest. Dip. Right 6. Right 4 over crest. Dip.
Big jump coming up.
Middle over crest. Keep middle over crest. 80 through dip. Keep middle over jump. 60.
Nice and straight on the landing. Let's see what the other guy does.
Dip. Left 6.
Whoa!
Middle over crest. Right 3.
Good
crest.
recovery.
60 through dip. Open hairpin left. Long. Don't cut. Keep middle over crest. Dip. Right 3. 100. Crest. Dip. Right 6. Right 4 over crest. Dip. Keep middle over crest. 60. Over finish. To stop.
Crashed into the end sign.
Keep middle over crest. 60. Over finish. To stop. Okay, slow
And there we
down.
have it. What's that? 4-6 seconds better on the steering wheel. Like I say, it's not a scientific experiment, but that was 2 of my fast laps after many goes. So yeah, I think overall I would feel more confident to use the steering wheel to get reliable fast times. But yeah, I know this topic has been visited many times on YouTube videos, but I haven't seen many where they've actually shown side-by-side view of the controllers as well, so I don't know whether that was interesting. Let me know. So hope you enjoyed that video. Give me a like if you found that interesting, and consider subscribing if you want me to make more videos like these. So until next time, happy rallying everybody.
Middle over crest. Keep middle over crest. 80 through. Keep middle over jump. 60. Left 4 over crest. Dip. Left 6. Keep middle over crest. Right 3 crest.
So I'll quickly take you through the bits and pieces that I bought. Both of these from Amazon. This is the CronusMAX PLUS. Dongle. Some sort of mini USB data cable. And this is the Amazon Basics 4-port hub. It's a USB 2 format, which I think that's what that supports. Big box, little gadget. USB 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. So there's a quick guide, blah blah blah. Let's get started. First thing you need to do is make sure that you download and install the latest version of the Cronus Pro software suite. Go to cronusmax.com/downloads. Okay, grab any old defunct Windows laptop that you have. Okay, 13 megabytes. Searching and downloading DirectX runtime optional components. It's downloading updates from 2008 at the moment. Crikey. Restart needed for the DirectX, I think. Okay, so we've rebooted. Let's fire up the software. Taking a long time. Don't you just hate the Windows experience? Not sure why it's not starting. Okay, I guess we just plug it in. Nice pretty lights. Installing device driver software. Skip getting driver software from Windows Update? Yes! Piss off. Ooh, hello. Okay, I presume I'm supposed to be seeing something down here about device connected and its firmware version. Am I missing a trick here? Ah. Maybe I have to connect it to the side port. More device driver software installing. Finished restart required. Oh, Jesus. Restart again. Okay, back again. Okay, finally, here we go. Right, how do you get rid of that? Piss off. Okay, hooray! So that's what I was looking for. Device connected CronusMAX PLUS firmware v1.24. So, according to the CronusMAX website, it should just be an easy case of changing the Cronus operational mode from the tools menu. And then we're going to select the PS4 Wheel Edition next. Yeah, got the latest firmware. Hang on. Downloading the latest release of firmware. Whoa. Entering programming mode. That's gone to a P. The device is not responding. Great. Was that something to do with me moving it? Ah. Now it's gone to device disconnected. Annoying. Here it says P programming mode blinking dot indicates the right operations and flash memory being performed. Do not remove the device. Huh. But now it's crashed. Right. Try again. Device connected in recovery programming mode. Oh dear. Firmware update. Ew. Do not proceed if your device has never been programmed with a version of the CronusMAX PLUS firmware, as it will permanently brick your device. Okay, getting slightly nervous now. Your version unknown. Surely I'm already in that mode. Right, let's disconnect. Okay, reconnected, we're back into the spinny cursor mode. Let's try that again. It's saying firmware v1.24, so click next. Select firmware version to download. Next. Proceed with the installation. Okay, dots flashing on the P. Aha! Worked this time. Maybe me moving the stick to show you on the camera was the problem there. Hopefully that's it. It's kind of doing a weird snake figure of 8 kind of spinning. Okay, so I've got the CronusMAX PLUS, we've got the basic 4-port USB 2 hub, and the one thing that's maybe not obvious is it says PS4 consoles require an officially licensed PS4 controller with data micro USB cable to authenticate the CronusMAX PLUS. So this guy has some sort of security chip in it to authenticate to the console. This guy doesn't have the ability to do that, so we've got to link these up basically, which means either you need a spare controller realistically, or you need to unpair this from the controller in order to authenticate something else. Bit of a pain, but that's the way it is. Okay, so first things first, because I've only got one DualShock controller, I need to essentially get the PlayStation to forget about this. So to do that, you go into your PS4 settings, into devices, Bluetooth devices, and disconnect. However, the problem is, once you've disconnected a Bluetooth device, you can't do anything else to make it forget that. So what you're going to have to do is use the original micro USB cable that was provided with the PlayStation, or any other micro USB data cable. Plug it in that way, turn it on, and actually come into the controllers option, and if you set it to USB cable, then you can still disconnect it. You can see it's already disconnected, but you can essentially disconnect it and then press the options menu and forget device. So that's gone, but I can still control the PlayStation. But as far as it's concerned, that guy is no longer registered as a Bluetooth device. So then what we need to do is keep the controller connected. This is going to plug directly into the PlayStation itself, but what I've got here is a USB male to female extension cable, and we plug the USB hub directly in to the CronusMAX, like so. And then for this device, the DualShock controller is going to plug into this port next to the wired connection. And then the USB from the steering wheel is going to plug into, it probably works with any of those, but I'll plug it into that one because that's what most of the diagrams seem to show. And then plug in your CronusMAX into the PlayStation or your extender cable. Does a little think about it. Powered calibration kicks in, and this is now working. Just be careful, I had this problem, but if you do actually plug these in the wrong way around on this hub, and this can be something that looks right on other hubs, you get this strange problem where the controller disconnects and disconnects, reconnects. This works some of the time, but then when it disconnects, it stops working like that. Anyway, if you're having that problem, you've got the USB cables the wrong way around. So it does the little searching snake figure of 8. And you're good to go. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, change some of the steering wheel settings, and you get to that in the options and then the input selection. Make sure you've got configure device set to Logitech wheel and not the DualShock controller. And then first I tightened up the steering a bit because it was a bit loose and I had to turn it too far, so I set that down from 100 to 40 and that seemed to work quite well. And then in the vibration and feedback settings, I took all the sliders down from 100 to 75, and that seemed to be a good balance between good feedback and not too much wrestling with the steering wheel all the way around. So I hope that's been of some use to you, and yeah, see you in the next video.